welcome back once again to After the Credits. So today, got around to seeing another fairly new movie. It's been out for maybe a month or so, a couple weeks, if that. But it is fairly new, still in theaters, and still in the main theater, I should say, not the Dollar Theater. And that is Star Trek Beyond. So this is the third installment of the rebooted Star Trek series. And what did I think of it? Well, it fits, I guess. Didn't quite enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the first one. I know a lot of people hated on the first one, then all of a sudden it became really popular to like it. So a lot of the naysayers shifted their positions on it. I liked it from the start, and you can go back and... Oh, did I review that? Maybe. If I did, go back and watch my original review, where I said that I liked it. So then there was the second one, which was good in its own right. Kind of measured up to the first one a little bit, but it was kind of predictable in where it was going. Then now we have the third one. And it's basically just like the last two, more or less. It's, we're on a mission to do something, and then we have this big action scene, which isn't naturally in a Star Trek type of thing. There's not usually a lot of action in Star Trek. For some reason, they're trying to make it more like Star Wars now, but, maybe that's what this generation likes. This is what this generation knows of Star Trek. I don't know. But, yeah, it was okay for what it was. Like I said, they got the big battle scene, then everything kind of resolves, and that's it. It's just another episode in the rebooted series of Star Trek. So we start off with Captain Kirk giving his log, and he's basically saying that this is picking up just after the end of their third year and start of their fourth year, I guess, because it was originally a 5-year mission. The original series only ran 3 seasons, so everyone assumed each season was a year, and so they made it 3 years out of their 5, and then it kind of dropped off for the last, what would have been the last 2 seasons, and picked back up later with the movie and then into Next Gen. But this one's basically saying this is what happened after those years, so I guess those 3 years, other than minor changes, have happened. Whether they happened exactly the same as the first time, who's to say? Like I said, some minor things in this timeline have changed. So more or less they're probably the same, maybe just a slight difference here or there. So it's picking up 3 years later. James Kirk is basically saying in his log how everything has become kind of episodic in exploring the galaxy. It seems like he kind of does the same thing on a day-to-day basis. Wakes up, puts on the same uniform, has the same meal, same cup of coffee, reports to the bridge at the same time, goes over all the duties. They, explore new things, but even though they're exploring new things, it's all seeming really repetitive to him, which is kind of driving him nuts. So they arrive at this new space station, and Kirk meets with the commander of the space station, and through that commander we then find out that Kirk has put in to transfer off of the Enterprise and take a vice admiral position. So obviously this is like moving up towards like more movie territory where the first movie picked up, or the original motion picture picked up. And then before he takes the vice admiralship, there's a escape pod that comes to the space station, and when they talk to the person on board, they find out that her ship has crash landed and she needs help to rescue her crew. So of course the Enterprise, being the only major starship there, goes back to this planet where her ship has crash landed to try and help her, rescue her crew, only to come under attack. And they basically end up on the planet, because that's how you get away when your ship is under attack. The entire crew goes down to the planet. Then we find out who the big bad guy is. We meet the new friendly space alien who's going to help us through the whole thing. And it just kind of plays out, like I said, the first two did. This is the point where it's all kind of action scene where the crew's separated, but they're all trying to get back together. Fight. Okay, we're back together. Beam out. We're back on our ship. And now somehow we've learned the secret that's going to let us overpower this new enemy, and we're back on the ship now, so fire all phasers, whatever. Of course, they have to get back to the space station before it gets under attack by this new enemy, because that was their deal the whole time. And as usual, there's a big twist. This one wasn't quite as foreseeable as the twist in the second one. The second one, you're just kind of like, yeah, I know where this is going before it even happens. But this one wasn't that telegraphed. So they resolve everything, of course, because it's Star Trek. Kirk decides to not become an admiral and to stay on board the Enterprise. And they go back out exploring the galaxy. Yay! So, overall, what did I think of it? Honestly, I think this new series, like I said, they're trying to push too much to be like Star Wars, which was okay for the first run, but now let's get back to what Star Trek was. You know, it's time to either, you know, wrap up the movies, get back to a TV series, or start making the movies more like an extended version of one of the TV episodes like the first few did, where you're actually just out exploring the galaxy. Yes, there might be a villain, but it's not tons and tons of action scenes. We don't need pod races. We don't need an epic lightsaber battle. We don't need, you know, spaceships flying through space. Well, yeah, that's kind of Star Trek. Ships flying through space shooting at each other. But for the most part, they're usually peaceful, diplomatic exploration adventures, as opposed to all-out war, let's do battle with whatever race we run into type of adventures. So, yeah, I'm just kind of done with this series. You know, like I said, it wasn't bad. It's just it didn't really add anything to it. It didn't take away anything from it, but yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Honestly, it kind of feels more like they're trying to do what they did in this film, what they did with the Next Gen films, which, you know, having the crew get more physically involved with enemies, and that's honestly what kind of killed the Next Gen films and what killed that entire movie franchise in general, because they were going to do more of them until the last couple bombed. But yeah, so what would I give it as far as a star rating? Honestly, I can't give it more than a 3 because it's, like I said, it wasn't nothing really impressive. It's, like I said, I'm kind of getting burned out on Star Trek being more like Star Wars. I miss old Star Trek. Bring it back. But yeah, so maybe a 3, maybe a 2.5, just because it didn't really add anything to the series. Yeah, I'll stick with a 3. What the hell? Not really much else to say about it other than that. It's a 3. It's, if you like the first 2, you might enjoy it, unless you're like me and you're like, okay, can we do something slightly different this time? Yeah, so that's it. Not much else to say about it other than that. Again, as always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, rate, subscribe, share the video. The links are in the description. And until next time, we will see you after the credits.